Are you serious? Are you serious? Has Vladimir Putin won the war in Syria? And is he getting what he wants? This view from the West that Russia's President Vladimir Putin is in a diplomatic doghouse and that his annexation of Crimea and his military involvement in eastern Ukraine broke the settled pattern of post-Cold War relationship in Europe. The Russian military is increasingly aggressive, patrolling and exercises on the margins of NATO, and have raised genuine concerns, even in a country such as Sweden, that a conflict with Russia can no longer be regarded as an impossibility. Reluctant NATO governments are slowly increasing their defense spending, and the United States is taking steps to reinforce its forward presence in Europe. Russia, of course, puts the boot on the other foot. They're blaming NATO's expansion for its increased military readiness. But this is a government widely believed to have sent its agents to poison an opponent in London, leaving radioactive trail across the city. You may have remembered that, folks. Very curiously, the prevailing Western response to Russia's engagement alongside President Bashar Assad and his government in Syria has been to argue that Russia and the West potentially share some common ground. Russia, at least as up to a week or so ago, was seen as a co-sponsor of a diplomatic effort to bring peace to Syria and a vital element of any solution. Whether this view, in hindsight, largely is wishful thinking, will it survive the onslaught by the Syrian army and its allies in Damascus remains to be seen. It is Russian air power, folks, more than anything that's changed the fortunes of the Syrian government. And this offensive, coming just as the new round of peace talks and truce deals was getting underway, effectively poisoned the discussions before they really began. I guess the question is, Russia's true intentions are becoming clear. We are not talking here about morality or what is right. There is a precious little bit of that out there anyway. Syria is apparently a very complex problem, and no single nation can be blamed for the continuation of this war. What we are talking about, though, is a real potluck opportunities for Moscow and given Western capitals an objective lesson in what can be achieved. To the Western view, there's no military solution in Syria. Moscow has effectively begged to differ. And, I've been saying it, guys. Vladimir Putin has been 3 steps ahead of Obama, maybe 4 steps ahead of Obama. It's like, you're talking about an ex-KGB, a military strategic mind. This man has a very powerful military strategic mind. And he understands global economics, global political positioning, and at the same time, he does not make knee-jerk reactions to things. When Turkey shot down his plane and his rescue helicopter, he did not strike back, but continued his position in Syria, just beefing up his security, getting 5,000 Chinese troops to come join him, getting the Iranians to even send more troops to help him, setting up his S-400 defense system along the Turkish border to protect his interests that he has with Syria, which is the northern Syrian very rich oil fields. Turkey wants the same oil fields. They've been buying the oil on the black market from ISIS for 10 cents on the dollar, and they want to keep buying it. So Russia's aggressive position in Syria is cramping the style of Erdogan of Turkey and threatening the position of the Sunni Muslims in Saudi Arabia, because Iran will be the ones who actually run those oil wells once Russia has everything secured. Remember, Obama said Assad must go. Russia said, no, he's not. And it's Russia that's going to win. Obama has been defeated. And that's why he's going to spend the rest of his political lame duck career trying to pick a Supreme Court justice that would be so liberal it'll scare you, shaking hands with the Castro brothers down in Cuba to build a legacy, and refusing to show up to the funeral of Justice Scalia. A few more things he'll do, which, like, wait till you see, shut down Gitmo. The only people that's going to be liberated in Cuba are going to be the Gitmo detainees. The only people going free in Cuba is not the Cuban people. Obama showing up in Cuba is not going to free one Cuban person to a new life. It's only going to build a legacy for Obama. And while he's there, chumming with these communist tyrants that have butchered and murdered people for 60 years, he's going to set the jihadist Gitmo detainees free. That's the only people going free. And Obama's going to spend his time. Wait till he pardons. Wait till you see the pardons he'll do toward the end of his presidency, in the last days, the last hours. It will blow your mind who he will set free. And we will be tracking to find out who they are. Putin is winning the strategic battle in the Middle East. Now, Rabbi Stephen Ben-Danoon, who spends a lot of time in the Czech Republic, right next door to Russia, and has a lot of good information because he's all the time listening to the Russian news, and he speaks with the people. He spends his time very close to the Russian border. Right now, he's in Israel, so he spends months in Israel, and of course, he gets a very good feel of the Israeli people. He himself, a Messianic rabbi. We will get his take on Russia, the Middle East madness, and what the Vatican's role may be in all of this. So don't go nowhere. Don't miss today's live broadcast. Starts at 12 noon Eastern. I'll see you then.